This is a security announcement. All units to the parade. It's another clown fight.
It's dark round the back of Hutton, really dark. It's even darker than that time we ran out of 50p coins for the lecky. Everyone has gathered in the bar of the social hub to look at the newly revealed starscape. The view is only available at certain times of year when Hutton is at the farthest reach of its orbit and Proxima Centauri is on the other side of the station. Management has even switched off all the external lights for a short time. Hutton Orbital becomes the finest dark skies observatory this side of DSO. The majesty of the galaxy is laid out before the locals in an endless parade of twinkling lights. Comets streak across the blackness. They are only visible at times like this when the light of Proxima is blocked by the planet Eden and the superstructure of the station. The locals sit motionless, transfixed by the beauty of the natural world. The silence is broken only by an occasional gasp or a contented sigh, and on one occasion, an unavoidable fart from someone who had the Sprouts Mexicaine for lunch. After a while, their attention shifts to a small area of sky where there are no stars. The mood is broken as people speculate about what could cause the stars to disappear like that. Worried mutterings turn to concerns that it's getting bigger. Could it be a star killer like in that old vid show? All of those systems just gone? One person shouts out in anguish, as first the Orion Nebula and now the whole of Barnard's Loop are engulfed by blackness. And then there are no stars left, only the blackness. Someone flicks the light switch to reveal a gaudily painted fleet carrier parked directly outside the bar. The words, Hutton News Outside Broadcast Unit, have been inexpertly daubed along its flank in green paint. The vid screens spring to life, and a matronly face appears saying,
Our mics are live.
Good evening, and welcome to Hutton Orbital Live.
Well, we're not a bunch of 10-year-olds like that other lot.
though we sometimes behave like it, especially when it comes to our entendres.
Are there, like, fart jokes?
What, the Lave Crew? Anyway, time for the headlines. Dead Meat nearly becomes victim of nominative determinism in 36 Ophiuchi.
5 ways Hutton can help.
Too Hot, Too Messy update, week 29.
Zulu Romeo in Graffiti Scam Slam.
Atrus5060 lets us know if the a-hole is clear.
I'll be handing out this week's wooden spoon.
And I've got a very brief apology.
Best this evening, we've been receiving reports of some skullduggery in the mission to take over 36 Ophiuchi. With Hutton in a conflict to take over Katzenstein Dock, commanders have been flocking to the system and turning around when they realise quite how far away some of the conflict zones are. However, for those who chose to target the nearest ones to the jump-in zone, or are prepared to make the trip all the way out to Katzenstein, there have been a few who've been taking Alvin's mission to heart and doing their best to pew-pew their way to pew-pew their way in the war to a win. One such commander, Deadmeat GF, has been indulging in a little space legs action, bringing his own inimitable style to the on-foot combat zones, which hopefully involves not standing next to red barrels and keeping his head down when there's incoming fire. He has, however, had some assistance in the combat zones by virtue of fellow commander Taluk, who was fighting for Hutton and giving plenty of the opposing combateers sleepy night time with wild abandon. Things, however, turned a little nasty at the end of the conflict zone, as, while waiting for the incoming Vulture transport, Taluk looked over and realised just who he was fighting alongside. At which point, with a yell of "Open fire! All weapons!" he turned his handheld arsenal on Deadmeat and attempted to perforate him with extreme prejudice. Deadmeat, completely nonplussed by the blue-on-blue action, and having put his weapons away to take a few selfies of teammates cheering and applying bandages to their boo-boos, mashed the panic pick-me-up button and ran for the nearest cover, which luckily wasn't a red barrel. Just as Taluk was taking aim with a rather meaty-looking engineered Aemilia, Deadmeat was air-hooked into a Vulture on a flyby and brought safely aboard. This is a reminder to all commanders: never underestimate the ability of teammates to render you onto the rebuy screen, even if they are on your team. Most Hutton truckers have learnt this the hard way over the years, particularly if they've been flying with Commander Bam in their wing, who has a habit of turning the entire scanner red after some over-enthusiastic pew-pew. If anyone sees Commander Taluk, be aware, they're trigger-happy and we're not entirely sure they're Hutton-friendly, but we do appreciate their input in the war, which will, all things being equal, be over by Saturday.
Sticking with 36 of Yuchi, political representatives from Hutton have been pushing their 5-point plan for the future of the system, in the hopes that the locals will be suitably impressed enough to let Hutton stay uncontested, and maybe even hand us a few more assets in the system. The key takeaways from the 5-point plan appear to be: Number 1, pizza. Number 2, Chinese. Number 3, a dodgy kebab. Number 4, a cheeky Nando's. And number 5, waffles. Whereas the 5 political points they've raised are: first, sustaining the highest growth of all local factions by the end of our first week of system ownership, which isn't hard given that no one else loves the system apart from us. Second, making 36 of Yuchi a clean rare system by ensuring that dog poop bags are available on all concourses in case Alvin gets caught a little short. Thirdly, giving Nurse Wyeth upgraded travel payments and ensuring that the system stays mods free forevermore as a result of Hutton's continued presence. Fourth, bringing Hutton's own justice system to the system, namely reminding everyone that they should be excellent to each other, even when squabbling over the last Xeno artifacts in the store. Yes, we know they look like willies and someone told you they were good luck charms, probably to extract a few thousand more credits, but there's no evidence that rubbing them will bring you good luck, especially not in public. You might get arrested. And D, raising education standards. Not enough people know the correct response to "for the mug." This will be fixed by mandatory shouts of "mug" every time the cuckoo clock makes its noise. Or indeed, at impromptu moments whenever anyone feels like it. We are sure that these 5 simple steps are achievable within a week, and after that, happiness will ensue. Oh, and there will be no more mods, which has affected far too many people recently, which is a problem when it comes to plumbing services.
After 29 weeks, Too Hot Too Messy, the Hutton-led initiative to deliver a mug and Megagin with which to fill it to all stations in the galaxy, has passed 57,000 deliveries. Last week, it was a markedly better week with over 1,800 deliveries, but averages are still below 1,500. Earlier in the week, the effort passed the original Hot Mess total of 55,455 deliveries, this mug-only initiative having been achieved in only 13 weeks. One new commander joined the effort this week, taking the total number to 283 participants, and 2 new squadrons take the total to 93. Welcome to the challenge. Hutton has the largest contingent, now with 76 pilots, who have delivered almost 26,000 mugs and gin, which noticeably is less than half the total, so thanks go to all the other squadrons taking part. As foretold last week, the Buckyball Racing Club have moved into second place ahead of the Winged Hussars, who are now third with almost 2,700 muggings. The Paladins are fourth, the Bird Pit are in fifth, the Undead sixth, concluding the squadrons that have collectively delivered more than 1,000 Hutton mugs and Megagin. Commander Chix is still leading the deliveries table with over 6,300 mugs delivered. Some say that he counts mugs in his sleep. Waller81 is second with 5,800 deliveries, ahead of Nem in third with over 3,800. Shea Blackwood has consolidated their fourth place with over 2,600, ahead of Infinite Dreamer in fifth with almost 2,000. The 1,000 Club now numbers 9. Of course, we know all this because it's tracked by the marvel that is the Hutton Helper and updated live on the Too Hot Too Messy event page at hot.forthemug.com/hotmess2. Also, the Helper is now fully updated and supports both the Full Fat Thargoid and Tharg Light versions of the game, so however you play, your Hutton Rares contribution will be recognised automatically. Apart from the mere glory alone, there is an additional incentive in the form of a chance to win a real-world Velcro-free, mods-preventing Hutton mug. Any commander that delivers 10 mugs and gin in the coming week will be entered into next week's draw to win a real Hutton mug. Unless, of course, you already have one, in which case you'll already have been immunised against mods. 27 lucky commanders have accomplished this so far, including last week's winner, Pitulek, and you can see a little golden mug next to their names in the top commanders table. Keep listening for this week's winner to be announced in the Banter bit after the news, and if you have delivered 10 mugs and gin in a week in every week since the start, 6 months ago, you'd have racked up 290 deliveries next to your commander name, and only 39 commanders have done this so far. If you haven't, why not give it a try? In order to join in the fun, you'll need to sign up by downloading the Hutton Helper from hot.forthemug.com/download, and then your mug and gin deliveries will be automatically registered for you by Antarius's artificially intelligent, eco-friendly, pine-scented bionic hamsters.
Commander Zulu Romeo has instigated legal proceedings against person or persons unknown in relation to his failed backing of the viral campaign to create a new galactic rare, Salvation Olives. After seeing their viral marketing campaign splattered all over walls in various stations, Zulu Romeo was persuaded to purchase significant volumes of shares in agricultural facilities and Salvation Olive hydroponic systems in a number of agridomes throughout the bubble, with promises that Salvation Olives were going to be the next big thing. It turns out that what appeared to be advertising for the latest in wonder food, able to provide tasty Ucheng chili stuffed bar snacks and oil for his latest culinary concoction, was indeed just a scam. There are no Salvation Olives. New olive plantations take tens of years to grow, even with advanced technology, and indeed there are rumours that Thargoids destroyed the entire nascent crop of them when they did the big dome thing and nuked most of the anti-Xeno fleet back in HIP 22460. The owner of the brand, and indeed the big stencil that has been used throughout known space to propagate the advertising, is as yet unknown. But when they are found, they'll be given a one-way trip to Sagittarius A, courtesy of Zulu Romeo, and unceremoniously lobbed in, after being divested of all their worldly possessions. Oh, and if he finds salvation himself, long rumoured not to be dead or being used as a meat popsicle by Tharg, he wants a stern word. In the meantime, he's keeping an eye on Aegis as their most likely culprit, and with their latest caustic removing debris, he's concerned that funds for his very own olive tree have been diverted to more martial pursuits.
Good evening, trackers! Atrus5060 reporting in with your latest updates on the Thargoid War. Humanity has had a fair few victories this week, and Haxwing is most likely emotionally scarred after a deep dive into the a-hole. Across the fronts of the Thargoid War, victories by broader AX community were seen in HIP 20890, HIP 2624027, Jupidum, JOA, Gillies 9035, HIP 6913, Bidahorora, Imayut, and Payami. I had that on holiday once. From our valiant Haxwing, we have had the dirtiest of jobs, which was to go deep into a-hole and wipe out the Thargoids. To clear the backstage they had created to prevent the free movement of ships in and out of a-hole. After repeated ramming of the blockage by our brave pilots, the Thargoid invasion was thwarted and local civilians could return safely to their brown planet now littered with crusty Thargoid holes. Ugh. Hutton has offered to send a crack team of Cubicle 3 attendants to help clean up the mess and remove any caustic substances. However, we are still waiting to hear from a-hole officials. After a-hole, Haxwing saw another victory in HIP 11636 near the Rising Maelstrom, where we assisted the Church of the Space Cat in defeating Tharg once more. It was a good week for us truckers, and Haxwing appreciates your continued support in our efforts. Your orders for this week, Haxwing, will be to defend HIP 38235, a system under alert of Thargoid invasion. Oh, bloody hell. Near the Kokujo Maelstrom. We will need to focus heavily on station evacuations. I had one of them. Supply missions to help local authorities bolster the defences for the impending Thargoid invasion. I would also strongly suggest that you blow up any Thargoid you see to prevent them from notifying their main invasion force that we're emptying their biscuit tin. We can use all the help we can get from our fellow truckers for this one. To get an easy win, and hopefully another system immunised from mods. Good luck out there, truckers, and see you on the front line. Throw the mug!
Order was restored to Hutton space this week in you-know-where. An exciting new system is within Alvin's grasp, and 4 systems are getting themselves noticed for the wrong reasons. More on those stories coming up. You know when order has been returned to the galaxy when Barnard's stars once again become the bearer of the Hutton wooden spoon, this time with a new low score of 33. A war and an election of system influence pretty much tied up for the next week. Slow to move Epsilon Indy has remained steady on 34, half a point ahead of Barnard's star. There are no conflicts, so take this opportunity to boost Hutton influence. Ross 671 remains third from bottom on 35, still by being less slightly awful than the previous two. Last week's outbreak in Wolf 25 continues its system-hopping contagion and has now broken out in Ross 671, shipping medical supplies to relieve the situation. Lorenzi's has displaced Stein 2051 in the fourth spot, where a war for second place that started yesterday is tying up over 40% of system influence. Try boosting Hutton influence earlier next week. Sirius Corporation have managed to rack up an impressive number of defeats, losing once again in Avic during the week. But they have again close to within 5 points and are lining themselves up for a repeat drubbing. In 36 Offiyuki, Hutton decisively won the war for third place during the week. Working against other factions put Hutton into second, and a war for control started on Tuesday. Hutton could be in control of the second longest supercruise by the weekend. At the overachieving end of the Hutton systems table, we have 5 systems above 60%, one of which is over 70. Priorities this week are, if you want to truck something, boost Epsilon Indy and Nerences once the squabbles die down, ship medical supplies into Ross 671 to relieve the outbreak, and if you want to shoot something, win the war for control of 36 Offiyuki.
You thought you'd heard the last of me? No, I have 2 apologies for our apology officer. So, Atrus5060, X-Wing Command. Apology number 1. AX Pilot Rawlins, a true a-hole federal interstellar man, experienced reckless weapons discharge from a sharp cannon from Commander Happy Moon Monkey. And apology number 2. AX Pilot Guerra, another a-hole, flew into the path of Commander Attic 2's shard cannons. That couldn't have ended well. Right, that's it. I'm done.
I can't stop laughing.
Oh, give me a minute.
Doesn't sound like laughing.
Yeah, put it away.
You bastards
Chix.
made me do a second one. I thought I was done.
Nope. But it was meant to be apologies, so you should have done them in your own voice.
No, they were Atrus5060s.
Yeah, but the apologies weren't.
Yeah, but it's it. Okay. I don't care. Once you start, you can't stop. There's no
Yeah,
going back.
I've heard that before. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like we have quite a packed talky bit today.
Yeah, there's loads, isn't there?
Well,
And we have
whip through it.
I don't know who wrote this, but we have an effing Jeffing green room this week
That
as
was
well.
me. It's an effing Jeff and Green Runner, everybody.
Yeah.
Woo.
So you know what that means? That means everyone needs to jump. I mean,
Be called
not
Jeff.
necessarily right now, especially
Yeah.
if you're called Jeff, to the
Yeah.
green room, which is on our TeamSpeak server, not our web address, which is,
ts.forthemug.com.
there we go.
And that's not a website, is it?
No.
It's not a website. That is a
What is it?
TeamSpeak server.
Ah, that'll be why it's got TS at the start.
Yeah.
Awesome sauce. Right.
So it doesn't stand
So
for
did
toasty
anyone see the
sausages
Frontier
then?
Live? So did anyone see the Frontier live stream?
So
Yes,
about
saw most of
15
it.
minutes in the middle of it.
So everyone knows what's going on then,
So
except me.
you 15
Yeah,
minutes,
I
that
mean-
was enough to get at least 2 of the purple Twitch drops. Which you've already got.
Yeah, which I've already got about 12 copies of, I think.
So,
I don't
Actually,
think I have any of their Twitch drops.
Actually, to
I've
be
never watched the live stream.
Yeah, to be fair, I kind of saw about an hour of it, but I listened to about 15 minutes of it between meetings. So I actually got all of the Switch drops, including the pretty paint jobs.
yeah, well, just
Which we'll
as
come
I
to
was
in a
talking
minute.
about Twitch drops. I picked them up last week, so I've just checked what they were. They were the Blizzard, the yellowy Blizzard ones last week, weren't they? Yellow snow. Don't eat yellow
Yeah,
snow, kids.
they were Don't Eat Yellow Snow last week.
But if you didn't listen to last week's show live, and if not, why not?
Why not?
If you notice, if you look in your inventory, if you're looking at Twitch, you might still be downloading some yellow Twitch drop skins. I think there's Anaconda, Asp. There's a Cobra.
It's the usual suspects, yeah.
It's the common ones there, Python maybe. You might be downloading them. But the show last week was long enough in the first week to download all of them.
Well, I hate to tell you, but I was in it, and I'm only at 73%.
Yeah, well,
that's because you need. That's because you need to click the button as soon as you've got to the half hour and the hour mark.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
Because it doesn't start counting the second one until you've claimed the first one.
We were about halfway through the last paint job, and we got to the end of Aemilia's rares, and I thought, oh, that'll be next week then, will it? And then David started talking, and that just took care of it. Anyway, David is poorly this week. He's
got mods.
His voice is...
I see quite of a mic in David's bathroom cubicle.
He's not been using his mug effectively.
Cubicle 21.
That's 7 times better than cubicle 3.
7 times grottier.
So
I think it might be today.
Yes. My apologies to Mrs. 21. That was only a joke.
So as you can see on your radio screen, you can tell us
I can see it on the wireless, yes.
This afternoon was live stream 26 with Arf and Sally.
Paint is a word picture.
Painters, no, we're not doing that. They used to do that live. That's what they used to turn off. How many Twitch drops we missed out on? Anyway, Arf and Sally, and they were broadcasting from their fleet carrier, which they did mention that in future live streams. The whereabouts of the fleet carrier and the name of it will be revealed before the show, so people can get aboard and
stand behind them and make
meet in game in person, as it were.
Ah, that'd be good.
You remember the old days?
Yeah, that can't go wrong, can it?
How many can get in the instance? Do you remember the old days when you used to have like Buckyball Racing Club mugs and Hutton mugs on the table? The mugs they've got. I'm just going to flick to the... Oh, it does have something on it. I thought.
Alf says something on it. I don't see anything on the hat.
Somebody will have to blow that up.
Pretty sure it says Frontier.
No. Oh, it could actually. Yeah, you could be right. Could be right. Anyway, they have very dull mugs. They've got mugs as well. They've got proper mugs.
Sally's got a very proper mug.
She has. She has. She's got the unique.
Oh, look at the handle on ours. Look at the handle.
It's upside down.
Yeah, he's got a Frontier mug with an upside down handle. Excellent.
What? That's a collector's edition.
Must have the same supplier.
Yeah.
So we mentioned Twitch drops and what they've done with the purple Twitch drops. Sounds a bit silly, but it's purple because it's Twitch and that's their color. They've paired them up, so the usual drops you get, the ancestral tattoo pack, the nameplates, all that kind of stuff. You now only have to watch 15 minutes to get a pair, and then if you click claim, it'll 15 more minutes. So you could potentially, if you're on the ball, get all 6 in 45 minutes. And it went for a good 2 hours. I think I didn't see the end, but there you go. Now we're still in winter, aren't we? Hence the blizzard Twitch drops, and they've moved on to these sort of funky little ones. There's an Anaconda and an Asp Twitch drop. So if you watched the show this afternoon, you could have got yourself those. They're quite nice. Those are quite like
very pretty.
Pinky.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
on an icy planet as well, which makes it look very festive and wintry. Seasonal, not festive.
Yeah,
makes
I
it
like
pop.
that. Yeah, it does. I could make that Anaconda pop.
that asp looks fantastic.
Railguns. Anyway,
Got to admit, my favourite's the Asp out of those.
Yeah. Looks really good on the Asp, that one.
nice ass.
Nice asp.
It's a nice Asp.
Oh, but Tish.
And if you don't have the Blizzard Star Twitch drops, which you if you're watching live, if you're watching our Twitch broadcast live, you'll be downloading those right now, and they'll run until the 13th of March. So you've got another 20 days. I can't work out in my head because February is a short month, whether we get 2 shows or 3 shows before that happens.
18 days, 2 shows.
2 shows, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Calendar.
You're most welcome.
They talked about the partner program. Obviously, Hutton and Lave, who we'll come on to in a second. Hutton and Lave were part of the original tranche of elite partner program streams.
Yeah.
And they announced the next batch, if you like. There are, how many is there? Is that 11? 7,
13. Oh, that's lucky.
Yeah. So they're the next 13, and I've watched a couple of those. I can't swear to knowing all of them, but they've doubled the number of elite partner program streamers, and they're going to announce another batch in April. So I know it generates a lot of discussion,
Orbital
salt
Jeffo.
on the
He could come
forums,
in the
but.
game room.
And speaking of Lave, do we have music or do we have
music? What would we need music for?
Well, our sister broadcasting station came of age this week.
I'll have you know we don't need music. We're an a cappella band.
Yeah.
It's also along with.
Well, I was thinking if we had music, at least something would be in tune.
It's all about the close harmonies.
It's also Longway 70th tomorrow.
Oh, right.
So we could do.
Should we sing them separately or both at once?
No, together. It's got to be together.
Both at once.
It won't sound any different. So Lave Radio.
La 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 la.
Lave Radio started 10 years ago this week, and I remember when I were a lad, and I remember because I put like £100 into the Kickstarter, and I sort of kept paying attention to it, and then this thing a podcast came out called Lave Radio, and I was like, right, I've got to listen to this to find out what's happening to my £100. And I rather enjoyed it. It was good. It was all kinds of speculation and stuff about Elite and lots of reminiscing about previous versions of the game, what was going to be in the new one. It was really good. It was quite exciting. And Fozzer Forrester used to present it and did a far better job than I could ever do.
Vocarious is saying preemptive aardvark for the singing of the birthday.
Right, that's it. He's getting a timeout for that. Just you wait. I'm going to time him out if he does that again.
There's the ban hammer coming out of its bag. Anyway, so 10 years.
Yeah. Time to sing happy birthday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Me.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Wrong way.
Happy birthday, dear Wrong Way and Lave Radio.
Lave Radio, wrong way. Lave Radio.
Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
The listener, I'm waving. Yes. Yeah, you can take your fingers out your ears now. Yes. That's...
Next door's dogs howling.
I wonder what that was. You talked about there wasn't much in the way of news as such this week, even though we have our own news outlet. But they talk about some of the stuff that's been discussed, if you like, on the forums, and there's a link there if somebody could post that into the Twitch chat. They were talking about how the BGS ticks don't necessarily work in the way people think they work. That's better now. You can undelete it now. Thanks.
Dav actually come along to Lave one time and explain that.
Yeah, and I mean, I have a passing sort of familiarity with the BGS, but I thought it was quite interesting. I learned a few things in there. So if you are at all interested in BGS, I suggest you read that at some point and learn. You might learn something. And the other topic they were talking about on the forums was what people think about the Thargoid War. There's another link in the chat there. So in your leisure, you can either click on those and leave them open in a separate page and pay attention to when the show is over, or you can just ignore us. I would.
Yeah, you just wander off now and start reading them. So
yes,
probably more interesting than us anyway.
The last live stream, they were saying the developers were away. They've been told. The community team have been told to leave the developers alone and let them get on with update 15. But this week they had Tom Kuehl, who we've seen a few times before. Tom's one of the sort of senior designers who designs and decides what's in the game and how to implement it and all that stuff. Except it was a bit delayed, so they pulled stellar screenshots, which is the point I tend to switch off. But they were in the middle of the live stream this time, so I didn't really have a choice. So there's some really nice ones in there. So if you haven't seen this week's stellar screenshots winners, I suggest you take a look at some crackers in there. Some really good ones. And then Tom did finally make an appearance.
It's nice that they sat them in ascending order of height.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's a bit like the army: shortest on the left, tallest on the right.
Yeah, and Arf isn't a little guy.
No, he is. Big guy. I was amazed when I first met Arf. I was like, "Crikey, he's enormous." Yes. So Tom Kuehl must be. He did say he had big hands. Yeah. Yes. Indeed. Yes.
Sorry, I'm looking at the expression on their faces, and I cannot help but think that they might all be sitting on Xeno artifacts.
Yes.
Anything is possible.
It's that one, isn't it? It's like,
when I do these, I hit the print screen button about 5 times, and I just pick the most amusing one. So it's a bit like,
you hit the nail on the head this time.
Yeah. In the press printer photograph of a politician, they always pick the one with a ridiculous look or some strange expression on their face.
Yeah, it must be hard to pick just one.
I must spoil the choice tonight.
It's Arf with the one raised eyebrow and the slightly crossed eyes. I think that's what sells the Xeno artifacts.
So if you're interested about how scenarios are generated and stuff like that, Tom talked about how they were sort of driven sometimes by circumstance. Certain things, events need to happen, or you need to be in a particular system with a particular state or a particular attribute or whatever, or they might be time or action initiated. It was quite interesting. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, I suggest you take a look. Anyway, that was kind of it.
Good live stream.
Okay. Did they make any mention of update 15?
No. We know we're still told it's April, but they didn't mention it.
Yeah, we know it's April something. That's as much as we know, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they have specifically said they're not going to mention it all the time, and you can just assume it's April unless and until they say otherwise. So it's still April. Maybe. Probably.
Maybe. Well, we haven't been told it's not April yet.
Well, there you go. It's April then.
They've told us once that it
Could
was
be the
April,
30th
and they've
of
told us 0 times that it's not April. So that's April.
Might be the 31st, but it will be April.
Yes, the 31st of April.
31st. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, 1st of May.
That's the one.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah.
And that's it for the live stream then.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So what is this thing about charity?
Charity.
Mate.
Charity. So Commander Cully, you may have seen this via Galbook or on Discord. Commander Cully likes making models, and actually, if I had a webcam, I have one of I have one of Commander Cully's models in my hand right now because I won one in January's charity giveaway. So, for the uninitiated, every month, Commander Cully makes a model of something in the game, and there is a giveaway, and all you have to do to get your dibs on this is win the draw. But before you do that, you've got to put some money into his Just Giving account, which has just been posted in the chat there. So put your $5 in, or however much more.
More is always welcome.
More is always better, generally. And have a chance of winning this month. The February item is an SRV, a surface reconnaissance vehicle, the old Scarab design. And it's hard to tell from the photographs, but he did confirm that this thing is about 9 inches, so it's quite it's quite sizable.
Yeah, people often say that.
It's big in the picture.
Yeah, I know. Well,
He did say inches and not centimeters, didn't he?
He did say inches, yeah. Because I asked him how big the asp was, and it's sort of as big as I've got big hands, and it sort of fits in my outstretched hand.
You know, it's quite impolite to ask somebody how big their asp is.
Yeah. Well, what he's saying is, it's a good handful.
Well, it's a butt, and it's a big butt. Anyway, so if you want to raise some money for charity, and all money raised through that, I think last time I looked this afternoon, it was 155 quid had been raised.
That's good.
And we are only 8 weeks into the year. So if we keep that up, that'd be a pretty good donation to Hearing Dogs and Special Effect.
Yep. So you've got 5 days left if you want a chance.
Yeah, it's the 28th is the cutoff. Obviously, at the end, it's a monthly thing, so you've got 5 days. Who's doing that next one?
Oh, I'm not even looking at it. Give me a second.
I don't know what it is, but it reads very advertising. I think Dave might have written this. Galactic legends, elite fans, ECM sponsors, and creators of the greatest mouse in the galaxy. SwiftPoint have launched their Kickstarter for the SwiftPoint Z2. Funded in 5 minutes.
It does stuff.
Deep
what kind
clicks
of stuff does it do?
and tilty things.
Oh.
V1 lets you lift off the desk and use the gyro, but V2 has even more programmable options.
What?
I know, right? Oh, and haptic feedback.
Oh, yeah.
He says they're great guys and they need a mention.
I think they just got that, didn't they?
It's a snazzy looking mouse. Just had a look at the case.
Feedback means you can shove it down your pants.
SwiftPoint Z2.
Yes.
Don't leave the orbital without one.
Yes. That's what happened to Arfie sat in a SwiftPoint V2. And then double clicked. So, a couple of spacey bits.
Oh, a minute. Quick reminder before the spacey bits. It's only an effing Jeffing green room this week.
It really is. So if your name's Jeff or Effie, get to the green room.
ts.forthemug.com. Not a website. Not a website.
It's a TeamSpeak server.
It's a TeamSpeak server.
Yeah, you crazy people. Right.
Sorry, you can go into the spacey bits now.
I don't know if I want to anymore. I like that better. SpaceX Crew 6 mission has been delayed a day. Delayed? Ah, dear. Is David meant to be on that flight? Let's listen in and see if there's a sound of a flushing toilet. Oh, yeah, there's a Banter flight, all right. So, yeah, no SpaceX Crew 6.
Delayed a whole day.
Yeah, let's hope they don't run it.
It was meant to be going up Sunday, and it's now going up Monday. I think it was.
Ah, well, that's not so bad. Yeah.
No.
Just as long as they don't run out of biscuits in the meantime.
I thought what was more interesting was the fact that they got the ISS crew are going to be stuck up there for, is it another 6 months or?
Yeah. Oh, that's because of the Soyuz then. Oh, that's one that actually didn't make it into the Spacey Bits list. There's a Soyuz launch possibly later tonight. Just after midnight English time. Midnight 24, I think it was. They're sending up an...
that's the same as Scottish time.
Yeah. Well, that's North Britain time, so it's a bit colder up there. It's the only difference.
Time, yes.
Yeah, they're sending up a replacement Soyuz to replace the Soyuz with the leaky radiator that's currently attached to the station. This is not
crack an egg into it.
Yeah, this is not to replace the Progress cargo capsule with a similar, strangely, leaky radiator that's also attached to the station at the moment. Totally unrelated. This is to replace the Soyuz with the leaky radiator.
Right.
Yeah, and they've looked into the fact that... Yeah, they've looked into the fact that the Soyuz and the Progress both developed almost identical leaks on basically 2 consecutive launches, and they've decided it's nothing to worry about, and the system is absolutely fine, and everything's all good, and everything's fine, we promise, and they're launching another one.
And it's just coincidence.
Yeah, they actually reckon it was 2 completely coincidental micrometeorite hits that just happened to hit something on the coolant system on both docked craft, which could well be.
Can't they just pull over to the side of the road and just let it cool down a bit before they
put some water in the top of it, and
difficult during re-entry. I mean, they could do that while they were in orbit, obviously, but once they're re-entering, it's a bit more complicated to pull over. It's one of those smart tropospheres where sometimes they use the hard shoulder as a lane. So,
yes, sometimes when it works.
Yeah,
and the Boeing Starliner. That's another one that's been delayed, so that's the launch is slipped from February to April.
Oh, that one must be the flight that David's booked on, yeah.
That's definitely Van Tian's flight. Let's have a listen in and see what they're doing.
Yeah, he's still on that one.
Yeah, he's still on there. He's still got the womble knot. Wash your hands!
Again.
No,
not in the bowl.
Yeah, in a sink this time.
Okay. We've got a drum roll.
We have? Do we have a winner? We do have a winner.
Somebody needs to do noise.
Yeah. This week's mug winner is Silas Scratcher.
Hey!
Hooray!
Way!
I've seen Silas a few times in the Hutton Run stats. So one of our regulars, shall we say? Yes.
Is he regular?
Excellent.
I mean,
more regular than Mr. Van Tian, that's for
goes
sure.
to the head every single day.
Yeah, okay. Speaking of which, shall we move on to Word of the Week?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Oh, no,
Word of the
no.
Week this week is Blatteroon.
Blatteroon. That sounds very Scottish.
Yeah, it means a senseless babbler or boaster.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
I can use it in the sentence. Some Blatteroon on the forums reckons they can do a Hutton Run in 40 minutes.
Or you could say, shut the gob, you wee Blatteroon.
Blatteroon, you ya Blatteroon. And a note from David saying, I resemble that remark. Yeah.
I was just thinking, doesn't that basically mean a Hutton radio presenter?
Yeah. I mean, I'd put him down as a senseless babbler, but he's not a boaster, really, is he?
But doesn't it mean the same thing?
No, different.
Yeah, he's still a Blatteroon.
No, I mean, yeah, Blatteroon is the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah. You can be one or the other. You can still be a senseless babbler or a boaster.
Bulgaria says Blatteroon. I think that's the Anglophiled version of Blatteroon.
Possibly. All I know is when I put it into the script tonight, the script knew about it because it corrected me on the spelling when I only put one T. So the script knows about Blatteroons. I suppose a Blatteroon is what we would now in modern day Scotland call a big roaster.
Why do I have a hard time saying Blatteroon rather than Blatteroon?
Because Blatteroon's better.
It is, isn't it? It's much more better.
It's got the blatter sound in it, which just makes it into something strange.
So you're saying that Blatter is better?
Yes.
Blatter is better.
Blatter is better.
I can't believe it's not Blatter.
I can't believe it's not. Yes. You need to get up to a high shelf.
Okay, I got to give him credit. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a first. It's only been 2 years.
If you have to get up to a high shelf, you might want to use a step blatter. Okay. Fine. Anyway,
Isn't he in the
you think
FA
that was
something?
bad? I'm about to make this worse for all of you. You don't see. You push me into this. What do you call an anteater? Oh, that's me away. What do you call an anteater that plays poker?
Jeff.
I don't know. Maybe Jeff?
No, Jeff's in the green room.
Effing Jeffin?
No,
The
Effie's in the green room.
anteaters are
with
welcome
Jeff
into
as
the
well.
green room.
Brian.
Bob.
An anteater who plays poker is a card fuck. Card fuck.
Aardvark!
Aardvark!
Here's Flossy with the CG News.
Oh, finally.
It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. And the community goes.
Hello, Flossy here with this week's Community Goals News. Last week there weren't any, so nothing to report there. This week we have 2 CGs. Caustic Zinc Launcher Delivery Campaign and Protect Trade Ships for the Owen Miller. Deliveries have been requested in Duamta to fast-track production of a module that improves ship survivability in caustic environments. Professor Albert Tesoro, the head of Aegis, provided these details. We are grateful to Aidan Tanner for personally testing our prototype caustic zinc launcher. The electrochemical reaction within the Maelstrom cloud was successfully channeled into semi-liquid anodes for ejection. This kept the ship hull intact for considerably longer before Tanner was forced to withdraw. Aegis is setting up manufacturing and distribution centres to make the caustic zinc launcher widely available. The Alliance, Empire and Federation will all contribute, but we know that the process can be accelerated with the direct support of the galactic community. Therefore, we have an open order for shipments of advanced catalyzers, heat-sinked interlinks and palladium. We also require caustic tissue samples obtained from the caustic generators that can be found inside the Maelstrom clouds. I urge pilots to exercise caution as these are highly dangerous to obtain, but crucial to the module's manufacturing process. Pilots can deliver these resources to the Owen Miller in the Duamta system. Aegis confirmed that as well as the caustic zinc launcher being made available at technology brokers, the initial batch of modules will be distributed for free at higher tiers based on individual contribution levels. Tier 2, top 25% will receive 1 caustic zinc launcher. Tier 3, top 25% will receive 2 caustic zinc launchers, and the top 50% will receive 1 caustic zinc launcher. These rewards will be placed in storage at the Owen Miller. To protect traders carrying these resources through the Duamta system, Aegis confirmed that it will pay additional rewards on any bounties, that's Aegis Core, and any bounty from a faction affiliated with the Federation, which includes but is not limited to those from Duamta Gold Creative Corps, handed in at the Owen Miller megaship. The campaign will run until the 2nd of March 3309, and if the final target is met earlier than planned, then the campaign will end immediately. And that's it for this week's CG News.
Flossy told you what to do.
And now with their beautifully coiffured hair, dulcet tones and proper pronunciation. They are the very epitome of reporters. It's Beetlejuice and Witherspoon with a Galnet News Digest.
Galnet News Digest, 23rd of February 3309. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, we review updates from the war, and Aegis calls for help developing tools to allow us to penetrate the Thargoid maelstroms. It's been nearly 3 months since the Tyrannus maelstrom thudded into place, and a raft of systems were taken over by Thargoids. Over the following 2 weeks, 7 more maelstroms were established, and now the Thargoids control more than 850 systems in or near the bubble. We are fighting them back, but for now they continue to advance. Nearly 1 in 20 of the systems in the bubble is now under Thargoid control, although of course many of these systems were never inhabited by humans. We've managed to liberate more than 60 systems from the Thargoids, and 25 more are in recovery, but that's dwarfed by the speed of the Thargoid advance. Separately, Thargoids have started getting much more aggressive in the California and Witchhead nebulae. The Pleiades and Coalsack nebulas remain quiet for now, despite a large Thargoid presence. All of these nebulas have large numbers of Thargoid barnacles, the biomechanical pumps that create meta-alloys, and it seems likely that the Thargoids want to retain control of those barnacles. But that doesn't explain why they're attacking the bubble. Is it simple retaliation for Salvation's attempt to commit genocide? With the recent re-establishment of Aegis, with Azimuth's weapon stabilisers that allow up to 6 anti-Xeno weapons to be mounted on a ship, with Liz Ryder and Zachariah Nemo's incremental improvements to the old Aegis missile launchers and multi-cannon, with Professor Palin's improved long-range Xeno scanner, and with the promise of new technology to allow us to enter the Thargoid maelstroms and take the battle to the command centres of the war, there is some cause for hope. But even if Aegis can work technological miracles, there will be no quick fix. The Thargoid invasion will last for months, probably years. We must remain focused on protecting our homelands, while Aegis researches both the Thargoid technologies and their motivations. Aidan Tanner survived his test flight into the maelstrom with the experimental caustic sink launcher, and Aegis now wants to put the launcher into full-scale production, but they need your help to do it. What's more, the commanders who help the most will be granted early access to the new technology. The idea of the caustic sink is to suck up all the caustic nastiness the Thargoids squirt at your ship and spit it out into space, leaving your ship spotless. It's a bit like a cross between a decontamination limpet and a heatsink launcher, and the idea is that it will allow us to explore inside the maelstroms, do science, and perhaps discover more about what the maelstroms are and how they work. Designed by Colonia engineer Petra Olmanova, working to a commission from Aegis, these new devices have caused excitement in the Xeno research community. But Aegis can only manufacture the caustic sink launchers if they're supported by the galactic community. There's an easy way to help, and a not so easy way. The easy way is to source and supply advanced catalyzers, heatsink interlinks, and palladium to the Aegis core megaship Orunmila in the Duampta system. The hard way is to venture into the maelstroms to gather caustic tissue samples from the caustic generators that can be found within. Without the benefit of caustic sinks, this is an extremely hazardous activity, and Aegis has urged caution while saying that these tissue samples are fundamental to the programme. As a way of saying thank you to those who commit to helping, if the goals are met, up to the top 50% of participants will be gifted a caustic sink launcher before they go on general sale, with the top 25% of participants potentially eligible to earn 2 of the launchers. It seems that with this new product fast-tracked to the point of mass production, Aegis, once abandoned by commanders and the superpowers in favour of Azimuth, has instantly justified its reinstated position in Xeno research and defence. And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.
with hair like rat's tails hanging out of a midden, voice like fingernails being scraped down a blackboard, and with a faint smell of cabbage following them wherever they go, we hand over to the blatteroon of the Hutton Helper results. It's Mia Harkness. Sorry.
What's wrong with cabbage anyway? Okay, welcome to the Hutton Helper results. The Hutton Helper results are sponsored by the Hutton Helper, the only third-party resource to come with a free orrery you can set up in your dark skies cockpit. This week we have the following events: the I Can't See the Pub From Here Cup, the Torch with No Bulb for Seeing in the Dark tournament, the Hold On to This, It's the Handrail Deja Vu Trophy, the A Thargoids Makes So Much Noise I Could Shoot It in the Dark charity shield, the Now I Can't See the Planets Spectacular, and the Wagon Train to the Stars award. So, give your night vision goggles a wipe, try not to trip over anything, and turn that light out. The Hutton Helper results are: Mark Xanthius jumped 87,000 light years to come first in distance travelled. Britta Maya sold 38,000 tonnes of cargo. Montgomery Python is top mission runner with 380 mission points. Alex Zuno handed over 900,900,900 credits worth of bounties. Meat 11 handed in 3.4 billion credits of combat bonds. Meat 11 also destroyed 686 Thargoid ships, so you can see where the 3.4 billion in combat bonds came from. And Nazgul NZGL delivered 3,618 people to their various destinations. Decals for Britannia. Britannia. It's Britannia. Britannia, Meat 11, and Gaia Origin. Now, what did Gaia Origin get it for? I think it was something like Overmind. Let's say Overmind. Please email I took part at huttonorbital.com and arrange to collect your Hutton decal kit, which this week consists of some non-glow-in-the-dark paint, a braille image of Hutton, and an elastoplast for any boo-boos. There have been 5 Hutton runs in the last 7 days. No, there have been 7 Hutton runs in the last 7 days, but the top 5 are Epaphras, 1 hour 23 minutes and 31 seconds. Bandicoot, 1 hour 23 minutes and 42 seconds. Right behind them is Cord Badger with 1 hour 23 minutes and 44 seconds. Then it's Eat Lots of Glue, Don't Eat Lots of Glue, 1 hour 24 minutes and 3 seconds. And Sneevis, 1 hour 24 minutes and 16 seconds. Now, if you're wondering, there is a whole galaxy of things out there needing Lithobreaker desalinated, Shugo defrosted, exploded, launched, rung in, decked with boughs of holly, motivated, evacuated, unfriended, dejected, manhandled or woman-handled, smeared, deflected, kept warm in the oven, emphasised, snuffled, flip-flop, mistranslated to and from Spanish, chilled, mugged, ginned, wrapped up with a pretty bow, shipped short, rescued, having their immersion ruined, battered and deep-fried, dead-dropped, repaired, destroyed, bought, sold, squeezed, inflated, burnt, liquidated, evaporated, smelled, licked, discombobulated, recombobulated, head-butted, rubbed, compressed, enveloped, strained, fermented, murderised with an S, interrobanged, upcycled, violently downcycled, disallowed, reallowed after consulting VAR, smelted, loved, adored, cherished and probinated. And you can earn yourself a very fetching Hutton decal for doing it. To get involved, you just have to go to hot.forthemug.com and download or sign up for the spectacular new Hutton Helper, available in 3 incomparable formats. Let's face it, anything has to be better than switching on the big light and ruining your dark skies immersion. Anyway, that's it for this week. Back to Studio 5.
Thank you, Mia. And now we go to Aemilia Hawke for the Galnet Rares Digest.
You are about to listen to Aemilia Hawke. She tries all the galaxy's most dangerous rare items, so you don't have to.
While many of the rare items listed in the guidebooks are sold as foods, there are a collection that are listed as edible, or are related to edible items. Some are medicines, some are the flora and fauna that are part of the rarity of a particular trade item. This week, we're opening the jewellery box and looking at the sparkly things hidden inside. Classed as metal, though that's a misnomer, as these items are found alongside the precious metals of the galaxy and often seen adorning the necklines of the richer and more flamboyant and retro of the Milky Way's more well-to-do. Head to a formal imperial reception or dig through your wealthy great-aunt's box of family treasures, and every now and again you'll stumble on something truly rare and quite beautiful. In the system Helvetique sits a terraformed Earth-like world. It's smaller than the one in Sol, noticeably flatter and warmer, the surface covered in tropics as water is abundant in the atmosphere. Humanity has set up habitation on what little higher ground there is, the mountainsides and tops that rise steeply over the landscape. The atmospheric pressure is high, but the altitude gives the human constitution a respite from the pressures at sea level. Below them, the flat landscape is covered in river deltas. No watery torrents and fast-flowing currents, the rainfall makes its way to the sea in a leisurely fashion, slowing as it passes mangrove trees. During the terraforming, the early settlers were at pains to provide natural methods to improve the planet for human habitation. Algal blooms were abundant, the sudden growth of them starving the waters below of nutrients for years, leaving them oligotrophic, and spores from the blooms making the air toxic. The solution was a creature normally found around the coast of Africa, the mangrove oyster. Capable of living both in and above the water for extended periods, it actively removes nitrates from the water, cleaning and filtering it, and helping reduce the incidence of the algal blooms. Crassostrea tulipa, or the mangrove oyster, found the conditions perfectly suited to its biology, latching onto the mangrove roots and providing much-needed filtering of the water. As with any oyster, small impurities find their way into the shells, and to protect itself, the oyster slowly coats them, forming natural pearls. Due to the naturally occurring minerals in the water, unlike on Earth where the pearls are pale, these can form all colours of the rainbow. In copper and sulfur-rich areas, you get vivid blues and indigos, and across the landscape you'll find everything from dark midnight black pearls to yellows to reds and bright vivid whites. Of course, along with the naturally occurring pearls, the oysters themselves are considered a delicacy. And it's that delicacy that I'm here to try. The guidebook over the centuries has printed and reprinted the same error that the pearls themselves are edible, and that couldn't be further from the truth. As these oysters have evolved, the impurities in the water mean that almost every oyster you open has a natural pearl inside, made and coloured with impurities in the water. They grow to huge sizes over the decades. The largest found weighed over a ton, with a pearl inside the size of a ripe melon. The meat of the oyster itself, though, is unusually pure, free of contaminants, heavy metals and impurities, and served as a delicacy as it is here on Earth. It's a rare delight. A dash of lemon, a sprinkling of Uchuang chili powder, and as they say, down the hatch. 3 chews, then swallow. The coastal fringe where they're found isn't as salty as it is on Earth, so they have a milder and more delicate flavour. Battered and deep fried, served with a sweet chili sauce. They're meaty and firm. A Witch Hall Kobe beef with Helvetic oyster pie is gloriously rich and aromatic. We still can't get away from the idea that they're an aphrodisiac, but as you can only try these if you're outrageously rich, I suspect it's not physical attributes that Helvetic oyster eaters use to get people in the mood. What's more, with each serving, you're rewarded with a colourful, valuable, and beautiful piece of jewellery as a memento. Enough money and you can have a hefty and stunning paperweight on your desk. Rich enough to own a planet? Well, your bollards outside the entrance can be enormous polished pearls in your own company colours. Of course, it wouldn't be the same without a small element of danger. Most of it is through not paying attention. Take the guidebook with a pinch of salt. Do not try eating the pearls themselves, nor if anyone offers you some pearl jam, should you try and eat it. Eating the pearl, whole or as a ground ingredient, won't immediately prove harmful. Once it hits the concentrated acids in your stomach, though, well, it starts a chain reaction that has the most unpleasant side effects. Extreme flatulent and eructation or burping as is the first signs that things are about to go very, very wrong, followed by thirst, unquenchable thirst, as your body slowly desiccates. In 24 hours, your eyes will be sunken, your skin as dry as paper. 24 hours after that, and you'll be able to audition for the role in The Mummy. And a day after that, well, there's nothing left but dust. The calcium chloride it creates when reacting with the hydrochloric acid in your stomach is one of the most potent desiccation agents you will encounter, and you will want to avoid it at all costs. Nearly every oyster you encounter will contain at least one pearl. Every oyster needs checking and preparing before being eaten, as shucking one and gobbling it down without checking will just be the start of a very dry and dusty end. The rarity is also a side effect of the chemical composition of these oysters. Aside from their calcite shells, the pearls are mineral rich, and the oysters act as natural miners for those same minerals. Use shipboard and on scarabs for much of the synthesis available. They're harvested, mined and farmed predominantly for their physical rather than aesthetic value. With the settlers now having been established for centuries, the oyster beds are no longer needed as part of the terraforming, with science providing much of the solution previously given by nature. The locals, however, keep a small selection of the most beautiful pearls back to sell in their rares trading market. And if you're there when they harvest them, you can try the delicacy that is the Helvetic oyster. Helvetic oyster. You know, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Everyone pronounces it differently. I'm Aemilia Hawke, and to be honest, I'm not a fan of pearl necklaces. But the pie I'm about to sink my teeth into, served with a good Hayden Black Brew, is just the thing for a hungry Galnet Rares Digest reporter. Oh, and trust me on the jam. This is Aemilia Hawke reporting for the Galnet Rares Digest. I shuck it and get it down in one, so you don't have to.
Thank you. Well, that one sounded safer than usual.
Much safer.
Well, slightly, as long as you're checking for pearls.
You wouldn't want to get one of those pearls, would you?
Yeah, not a fan of pearl necklaces.
No.
Definitely want to avoid licking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, you don't want that. So
it's time.
Is it time?
It's time for the F and Jeff and Green Room.
It's the green room. Effie and Jeff, get yourselves in there.
Well, we have. Who do we have? We have Vulcarius and Aidan.
Yay!
We drag them in with us then.
Yeah, it's much
That'd be
easier.
easier.
Yeah, probably. Right. We'll give them a few seconds to realise it's happening, and off they go.
Yeah.
User was moved to your
Let
channel.
them in, but make sure
Greetings.
they're sitting butts here.
They're already here.
Hello.
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 Yes, we have people.
Yes. Well, you say people.
Well, yeah, but we have us as well, so I mean, there's only so far you
Yeah,
can go.
exactly. Yeah, that kind of balances things out.
We got over 40 people listening on Twitch. I have no idea how many on any of the other streaming channels. And only Vulcarius and Aidan came to speak to us today.
Yeah, that says a lot, doesn't it?
It's 47 a few minutes ago.
Yeah, that means there's 40 people out there with more sense than these two.
Yeah. 40 people
You
out
might
there
very well
who
think
have-
that I couldn't
who have
possibly
friends.
comment.
Right.
We've
Vulcarius.
run Vulcarius's magic tool, so
Okay.
I love Vulcarius's magic tool.
Yeah, okay. I see where I fit in.
yep, off you go then.
Okay. Aidan, what have you been up to?
Generally just shooting shit in the name as I've been on a mission from Dog.
Oh. Is it a secret mission from Dog?
No, I've just been going around shooting stuff in 3603 because I could, largely.
Just blatterooning everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Just going, okay, well, let's just see if I can get to all of the ground combat zones and do at least one in each of them.
I've only done one ground combat zone that was an accident. I got a delivery, which it must have been around about the time of the tick, but I got a delivery mission to somewhere that was having a war. And it was a restart. It was a power restore mission to somewhere that was starting a war, and I get into a combat zone, but I quite liked it. You know, it wasn't quite as scary as I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the low ones are really quite easy to do.
Yeah.
If you don't have, basically, if all you've got is a grade 1 kit,
Oh
really,
no, I've got grade 5 kit now.
then yeah, a low is not going to be an issue.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I got booted out of one because my broadband seemed to be being a bit dodgy. So
Oh dear.
yeah,
Not broad enough.
well,
Or just too bandy.
too bandy. It can't. It seems to be in of two minds at the moment. It's either 4G or 5G, and it can't make up its mind.
Oh dear.
So yeah,
So it's more of an OMG.
yeah, very much.
Jeez. So that's been your week, has it? Is just going around shooting people?
Yeah,
That sounds good.
well, shooting people in the
User
game.
was moved to your channel.
Shooting people in real life is
Yeah, that's not a good
to-
thing. Yeah.
You know,
But shooting
to borrow
pretend
from
people
Hot
with pretend
Fuzz,
bullets.
it does end up with a rather large amount of paperwork,
Yes.
and I can't be asked for that.
Yeah, and it's hard to do that with handcuffs on.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but that's a completely separate issue, Mayor.
Yes. Yes, it's two crimes in one. So, have you anything else to add, or is that a for the mug?
That's realistically for the mug. For me.
For the mug!
Mug.
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 Next up is the good Mr. Chix to the even
Well,
better Mr. Vulcarius.
Little Grey's having issues.
Oh no.
So, do you want to talk to his Little Grey? Are your issues resolved, or?
I have no idea. Is it working?
It is
You
working.
might
Oh, that
hear
worked.
yourself,
We can
so
hear
I
you.
have to be hot on the mute.
No, it's working fine. You just need to unmute your mic. So how are you, and what have you been doing in game? Or in the
I
world?
have been playing around with the hacks guys that have been making life very easy by helping me make lots of money and get bigger ships, which means I can do more stuff.
You've been
which
shooting
is-
the flower people.
Yeah, well, I'm not shooting, I'm hauling. Although, strangely, we've discovered in the system we're working in at the moment, no one wants to leave, possibly because they all want onion head. So guess what I've gone hauling?
Synthetic meat?
Mugs.
Mugs. Well, I've just landed
Food
on a place called
cartridges, food
Leave It
cartridges.
Plant. Just in the last 10 seconds, and the commodities market is closed, so I can't leave it anything. So I'm leaving it. Anyway, carry on. Sorry, interrupt.
Leaving it out.
So you've got a ship full of onion head, right?
Yes, I mean, it's probably going to go a bit better than my shipping of explosives. Explosive makes your ship go bang in a much bigger way.
Well, it's illegal in many systems as well, and if you get scanned, you often get shot, which is usually the start of that sequence.
Well, no, I was hauling explosives, and then Mighty Tharg decided to say hello, and I go pop, and
Ship go pop.
Isn't onion head just as likely to get you shot at by
Yeah.
authorities?
Well, it depends on the system. Depends if it's illegal in the system or not. Because it's not illegal in our system. I often see it requested in Hutton Orbital.
Thing is, if you explode with onion head on board, everybody just goes, wow.
I am going to wonder how straight I'm going to land when I put this thing down, but we'll find out.
That's why docking computers were invented.
Yes.
So what sort of ship are you in, and how much are we talking about?
T9, so I've
lots.
got 670 tons worth of the good stuff.
It's going to take it a long time before you land after that.
The thing is, the orders there are for in excess of 1,500 tons. So
you need a lot of onion
3
heads.
trips. You do know you can get an onion head skin for the T9.
Until now, I've not really known or cared what it was. So I
For the T9?
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty.
You can thought it was the Cobra that had the onion head skin.
I thought it
They've
was
all
Cobra.
got
I've seen it
them.
on something. I'm sure.
Yeah,
it
you've,
was
you'll have
definitely
seen it on the
Cobra one, I've got it.
and The Federal
Yeah, I've got it
Corvette's
too.
got it as well.
Well, federal. Yeah, we're armed and stoned.
Great combination.
Legal in the Federation as well.
It's quite a message.
Yeah, you kind of not want to mess. But I will stop taking up everybody's time, and I will go for
Lie down.
for the mug.
Well, congratulations on resolving your technical issues and for the mug.
Next up, it's me talking to Flossy. Flossy, how are you doing?
Flossy!
Do we have?
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Wrong keyboard.
I was just typing back.
How are you doing?
I'm not too bad, thank you.
Good. Birthday preparations going well?
Yeah, well, they were doing all right till a few days ago when Derek wasn't feeling so good at work.
Yeah, I saw that. How
And
are the two of them feeling now?
actually, as Dobby said, if Derek hadn't have tested himself, he wouldn't have, and he probably wouldn't have even known he had it, because he's hardly got any symptoms at all.
Well, that's a relief. That's definitely good news.
But, of course, I've obviously had to postpone the little party in the pub. Got to be responsible, you know.
Oh,
Even though
definitely, yeah.
He feels okay, no.
Yeah.
So far, I've escaped.
Good. Keep it that way.
But the last time, I was a few days later, so it'll probably be the same again.
Well, at least then they'll be better and able to look after you instead.
Yeah. Yeah, so, apart from getting things ready for his birthday tomorrow, been working on various little things. Other than that, I've once again been playing a lot of World of Warcraft. So, I am hoping actually to get back into Elite this week to do the CG.
Yeah.
Because
with it being a trade one and all.
And those things sound quite useful. I presume that get rid of the caustic stuff after you've been splattered with it. At least I hope that's what it does.
Oh, certainly. I think it's more about when you go into the maelstroms, but...
well, I'm not going in any maelstroms, but...
you don't fancy flying into the caustic clouds to receive the caustic samples or whatever they are?
Definitely not, no.
Although it does sound like that flying into the caustic clouds tonight could be something that Banter's been involved in.
Yeah. Oh dear.
We hope you're feeling better soon, David.
We
Honestly,
certainly do.
We do.
Yes, we do. We do, really.
Yeah. But it won't stop us laughing in the meantime.
Honest.
You can uncross your fingers now.
So anything else exciting going on in your world, or is that a for the mug?
No, I think that's for the mug.
For the mug?
I think somebody skipped Volcarius.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm now meant to talk to you, Mia, but maybe we should make this a three-way because...
No, it should be Chix to Volcarius, but Chix jumped to Little Grey because Little Grey was having on and off issues, so I didn't want to put Chix in twice in a row. So let's go back now and do Chix to Volcarius.
Volcarius, how are you?
Yeah, quite okay at the moment, although probably will be quanked in a few days' time. Because last weekend I shifted my daytime, and this week I've been working from 01 until 10 in the morning.
Ow.
So I'm okay at the moment. I'm starting work in a few hours. I'm starting my Friday.
Wow. I'm slowly, processing the permutations of why that could be.
Oh, right, yeah, we've someone on site in a Far Eastern location, and they need remote support while they're doing their work. They need me online to assist. So.
Are you at least able to stop after 8 or 9 hours though, and give up for the day, as it were?
Yeah, that's fall asleep.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, so I took last Friday off so I could litibulate for a bit and get the process started.
Sounds like what we used to do on the railway.
Well, did you shift your hours just a titty nope at a time?
Well, the travelling public get upset when you shut the lines when they're supposed to be travelling. Anyway, so
I think it worked quite well. So,
are you doing anything particular in game or?
Well, we same as with last month. We're shooting lots of Thargoids. As you were reporting it rightly earlier, our a-hole is now safely in recovery.
Unlike David's, of course, which is probably
being just
pink and puckered.
Yeah, just by Maelstrom Haddad, which of course borders our space along with Maelstrom Thor. So we were headed there anyway. But
I'm nodding wisely. I'm nodding in ignorance.
As you look out from the bubble, the ones on the left, that's Imperial space.
User was moved to your channel.
In any case, I've been commanded to announce that Imperial Navy Intervention and Rescue would like to thank the Hutton Orbital Truckers Cooperative for helping us defend our
User
a-hole.
disconnected from your channel. User left your channel.
I'm quite sure, even if not everyone realises it just yet, I think most
User
commanders...
was moved to your channel.
Everyone keeps moving around.
I know.
I think most commanders will actually be quite thankful in the end for those helping at Haddad and such, and even more so the one just above, like Cockio, something like that.
Oh, I've been there. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, just the other day, I used Isola Prospect, the planetary base in Bresla, with all the ships and modules, because I put an evacuation cutter and I noticed how convenient it was being literally one jump from the invasion. Then a few moments later, I thought, wait, what the frame shift drive am I thinking? That's not convenient at all. That means we're a few weeks away from having to defend that place.
Well, this is true, yes.
Yeah, and as I said, so up by Cockajo, I don't think it'll be very long before we'll see an invasion in Dekiat. So we could see Felicity Farseer under attack.
User was moved to your channel.
Well, it's a bit like having all the gankers hanging around the.
Oh yeah, we already had plenty of those. We had it was a team of 3. It was 2 members and a Fer-de-Lance. Although amusingly, if you've built your anti-Xeno ship well, they kind of tickle you.
Well, all that whole tank presumably just ran them.
Well, yeah, because the thing about fitting lots of hull reinforcement packages with the heavy duty just for the hull amount is that it also gives you a crap ton of resistance to the human weapons. So yeah, but certainly if I think if Farseer comes under attack, I think that would get everyone involved. That would be a massacre above Farseer Inc.
No, if Hutton Orbital comes under attack, I might break my "Don't shoot the flower people."
Yeah,
view.
Certainly if Alpha Centauri, those Thargoids will get wamble-cromped from eating so much Guardian shards. they'll be murderized with an S and a Z.
Yes. I think you've got most of the ones of the weekend there.
User disconnected from your channel.
Say again?
I think you've got just about all of the words of the weekend so far. I'm trying to think about when you've missed, but I don't think you've really missed any.
Well, I haven't got this. I haven't got today's word, but I might be able to. We shall see. Oh, and speaking of the apology officer, I've got a question for you. Would you believe? What do you call an anteater which buys an Imperial cutter, fits Class 5 experimental weapons stabilizer, then kills Thargoid interceptors by boosting into them with 6 of the new AX weapons?
Is it a hardvark?
No.
Sounds like a well-aardvark to me.
Yeah. It's a Guardian Shardvark.
Oh, God. Aardvark!
Shardvark.
I've got my headphones turned up so I can hear Volcarius, and then Aemilia pipes in. Jeez.
Yep.
I'm supposed to wait till the end of the show for that.
Yeah. You guys should move over into Imperial space though. We've got some great systems, not just a-hole. So you don't need 36 off of Yuki. So those Blatteroons who told you that Katzenstein Dock would be good.
Andy's completed the set. I think you get a set of glasses or something for that.
Did you do Titty Nope?
He did do Titty Nope.
Yeah, he did.
He was talking about moving the time frames, just a Titty Nope. Yeah.
So I'd like to see next month's green room when he's got an extra 4 to fit in.
Oh, he'll do it. He'll do it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, is that challenge? Well, a challenge is automatically accepted here, as I've learned.
That was a schlop. That schlop you heard was the Gauntlet.
But seriously though, you could, if you come over here, you could start with. There's a system called Moya Wang you might like. That might be a quite good one. But we also have like Dong Wang.
Yeah, but it's
Midu
difficult
Wang.
BGS-wise to expand that far.
That's
There are
a lot
loads.
of
There's loads
I'm
of
sure
systems
you'll
I'd love
figure
to
it out,
take, but
especially
they're too far away.
Especially if I told you. What if I told you that we literally have a system called a Cock Wang?
Yeah, but how far away is a Cock Wang?
But do you have Number Wang?
About 6 inches.
Oh no, I don't know if that's Number Wang or not.
Oh, Wang.
I suppose there is also Priscilla, of course, that I mentioned earlier. Although it'd also be nice to return that one to the Imperial Inquisition. But in any case,
I didn't expect that.
Yeah. Oh. Oh no. Right.
Sorry for derailing everything. I'm going to say thank you all for the show. Hail the Empress and for the mug.
The mug.
Next up we have Aemilia Tamia. Yeah. Try saying that when you try.
Aemilia?
Yeah.
How the devil are you, you beautiful Blatteroon?
Oh, I'm fine and dandy and tickety boo. Thank you very much for asking.
Tickety boo.
Yes, all three. I've got the three tonight.
So what have you been up to?
I have been. I've not had a lot of time in game recently, but on the time I have had, I have been on the quest for ionised gas. Because I need ionised gas because I'm updating a pistol. It's one of those plasma ones. What do they call it? The Tormentor or the Violator or something like that.
The nasty pew pew.
The nasty pew pew. So it's one of them. It's like a Dirty Harry pistol.
Nice.
And I've been trying to get myself a hold of some. Some ionised gas to complete the recipe, which I am now one canister of ionised gas short. So I've got a couple more power restore missions to do, and then I should be sorted.
Nice.
And then I think I'm going to try a bit of combat.
So you jump in. Wait a minute, you haven't done it before?
Well, I just that one time by accident. When I went to switch the power on, it was full of people shooting one another. And I thought,
That's what everyone says. It was just that one time, and it was an
Just-
accident.
It's that one time it was an accident. It was so
And you
much of
didn't
an
inhale,
accident.
did you?
No, I was running about with a Maverick suit on. That's how much of an accident it was. Oh no!
It happens to everyone.
Yes. Oh no! But it was a lot of fun actually. It was a lot of fun, and I managed to shoot a few people and duck and dive, and then eventually somebody took me out, and it was
User
like
disconnected from your channel.
Then I was stuck on
dip, dive, and dodge.
I was stuck on the ambulance and taken away and then sent back. And I thought, well, this time when I'm getting in, I'm going to take my Dominator suit, get dropped out of the dropship, and immediately pulverised by someone with a machine gun, and died again. And it was the end of the battle. And I was like, oh well. But it was good fun while it lasted.
Oh, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's it for me. Just a for the mug.
Mug.
User was
Mug.
moved to your channel.
Chix to some guy called Litho next.
Hang on.
I'm hanging.
That'll be my third time.
Yeah, go on, Matt.
Lucky you.
So, what have you been up to?
Well, I'm hoping that Psycho Cow's not listening, because mostly I've been decorating our bathroom.
Oh God! Yeah, don't tell
it-
him you've done that.
In honour of Lave Radio's 10th anniversary, I thought I'd start doing a bathroom redecorate.
Oh, a different kind of decorating the bathroom that David's doing.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the sort that involves, stripping the crap that's on the walls off rather than... Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
But so I've been doing some repairing of plasterwork and sanding down of paintwork, and wondering how it got into such a terrible state underneath the wallpaper that was up.
People standing up peeing?
Not that sort of terrible state.
Oh, I see.
Thankfully.
And up in the top corner of the room, the aim's pretty good. So's the rage.
Yeah, I hit the ceiling when I saw that.
The door.
Yes.
No, it's more like the Karate Kid Strikes Again. There's huge chunks of wall coming away with the paper.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That's not
Is
good.
it an old house?
70s, but it's plaster and lath rather than plasterboard. So
Really? Wow.
yeah.
In the 70s?
In the 70s. Yeah, 74 it was built apparently.
Bells. Oh, it's Macclesfield, though, isn't it? So,
Yeah, so strange around here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Lots of fun, lots of dust.
yes. Thankfully, I'm not a completely useless plasterer, so I have been able to repair the damage without too much trouble. And no, I didn't use polyfiller.
Well, lining paper is always the...
It shouldn't actually need it. It's a fairly heavy paper we're putting up, so we should get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just takes out all those little imperfections.
Yes, those little wrinkles that make life interesting.
Have you done anything in game at all, or is it all...
I literally haven't logged
on
in since
trowel?
last time, so it's all been on the trowel. But I'm hoping that we have a fairly quiet weekend this weekend. So while paint is drying and there's nothing else I can do, I might start wiggling my joystick instead.
Excellent. You could watch it, of course. The paint dry. But,
Well, I don't like watching people wiggle their joysticks. That's
I was gonna say.
that's something different and not really suitable for this. Well, what am I saying? It's very suited to this channel's usual content, isn't it? Yeah. But no, other than that, it's for the mug from me, I think.
Mug.
For the mug.
Mug.
Right, who have I got next?
Flossy to Aemilia.
Sorry, who to who?
Flossy to Aemilia.
Flossy! Wrong keyboard.
I was just looking up the list. It's high up on the...
Yeah,
right.
it's scrolled off.
Hi, Flossy.
Hiya.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good.
So what you been up to?
I have been writing mostly and prepping because I plan on streaming.
Oh.
Ooh.
I know, right? This is gonna be an absolute shit show.
So does that mean you're going to start doing button pushing for this as well?
I don't know yet, but if you teach me,
Happy to.
Yeah,
I will try my best. That's no promise.
I've been thinking of signing up for Tech Monkey as well, but
It's great fun. It honestly is.
I'm keeping my head down.
You get things like control of the pan, and you get to serve
Right.
drinks as often as you like.
I do like drinks. Do we get to do the extra special super duper flush? No, not that one. The stronger one. You know, the one that.
the aggressive flush.
No, it's that one's not on a button
The flush
bar.
that sounds really dirty.
It did, didn't it? Yeah.
We want an aggressive flush.
An aggressive flush.
When you're in control of the buttons, you can flush as aggressively as you like.
Oh, that's it.
Nice.
I'm signing up.
Well, that's very tempting.
So what are you intending to stream?
Well, it's going to be a mixture of things. It's going to be part gaming and part RPG stuff.
Ooh.
So, you know.
You're going to have a bit of Traveller in there?
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. Going to have Traveller in there. But yeah, it's going to be a kind of mishmash, and it's going to be TTRPGs and obviously...
TTRPGs. What's the TT?
Tabletop.
Gotcha. Right. Okay.
As opposed to hiding under the table and playing on the floor.
Games. Yeah. Because that's really uncomfortable.
And if you're in Yorkshire, it's table.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a mishmash, but it's all going to be centered around gaming and RPGs, and it's probably not going to be for another month yet. You know, I've got to set everything up. But
Is this on Twitch or YouTube?
both.
Oof.
It's gonna be live on Twitch and then uploaded to YouTube naturally after, a bit like what we do here.
Right, yeah.
And have you settled on a time for your?
Yeah.
I haven't settled on anything yet.
Okay.
It is literally just thoughts.
It will be on a day at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's
Sometimes.
excellent. I might watch it then.
But I mean,
Thursday nights at 8:30.
because I'm writing at home now, I'm gonna have the ability to do all this, so I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
So yeah, that's all I've really got.
That's not all. That is exciting. That's what that is.
Yeah.
It should be fun. If nothing else, it should be a laugh.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm probably gonna have to put a parental advisory, bad language warning at the beginning, because when I'm gaming, I have a gutter mouth.
So unlike now then.
Unlike now.
There will be swearing.
So yeah, we'll be streaming literally.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it should be fun.
Everything's more fun with swearing anyway, isn't it?
I think so.
Especially
I
church
like to think
services.
so.
Funerals get a bit sticky.
Except for that kid's birthday party. That one we'd never been invited back. But,
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, it's for the mug from me.
Thank you.
The mug.
For the mug.
Mug. And now, oh God, it's me, and I have to ask Chix. What have you been doing, Chix? What have you been up to?
Asking lots of people questions, apparently.
Have you been? Yeah. Have you been polishing your Beauforts?
No, I've been in West Britain for the past couple of weeks.
You've been in West Britain? Oh,
Yeah.
home of the darkest dark skies park. in
I
the
must
UK.
admit, I was just before the show. I was out on the lawn at the front because it's one of the places I can get a mobile signal, and just glorious. I was out, as your eyes adjust. I was out there for about 10 minutes, and you sort of see the
User
constellations,
left your
and then
channel.
you start seeing sort of the Milky Way, and it was absolutely glorious out there.
No, that's amazing.
So yeah, the skies are pretty
User was
dark.
moved to your channel.
But no, I've been here doing jobs and playing lots of Elite, playing lots of Warzone.
Awesome.
Season 2 came out a couple of weeks ago.
What's new for season 2?
Missions mostly. Some of the missions are very similar to the first season.
Right.
Is that the drunk stormtrooper version where you keep shooting and keep mission?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So I've been working my way through there with a couple of mates online.
Oh, that sounds good.
Trying to get more weapon slot unlocks, which is very handy. But they opened a new sort of playground for us as well. It's Ashika Island, which Jim mentioned in the Too Hot Too Messy news last week, and it's an island, but in the middle of it is this sort of Japanese castle. So you can run around, and that's quite good fun. It's different levels as well. They're all tunnels underneath. It's quite.
So you can go all 47 Ronin.
Oh, it's It's very well done. Although if they've ironed out a lot of the glitches from season 1 as well, although not all of them, things still happen. So it's what we call an extraction shooter. So you go in and then you've got to get to one of 3 extraction sites to get out. Because if you don't get out, you lose all your stuff.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, you lose the stuff you take in. So a win is where you go in and come out with more stuff more or better stuff than you went in with. So
right, okay.
If you don't make it out, you
don't need to worry about
stuff. You have another go. Yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah, sounds alright.
I've been drilling lots of holes in steel angles. I've been repairing a staircase out in the garden and priming and painting that.
Hang on, your garden has an upstairs.
Yeah, there's a bloody great cliff behind the house, so I built a staircase that goes to the top of it. And some of the steps are getting a bit rotten, so I've made some steel angle. Oh, I didn't make steel angle, I got some steel angle and drilling holes in it to make new stairs and steps.
Oh, okay.
Painting it all, priming it all. But the angle is pretty rusty. It came from a scrap bin. So
it came from someone's barn.
Well, no, it came off a ship. Out the scrap bin. So I've been cleaning all that up and then drilling holes in the right places and having lots of fun in the shed. They're making bird boxes this week.
Oof. So they can put the stuff in it for moving.
Yes. Yes. But lots of bugs.
Awesome.
As well.
Yeah. That's
doing a bit of exobiology as well as I go along. I'll sort of land at a settlement and look out the window and go, "Ooh, weeds!"
Yes.
So rush off and go and dissonate some weeds.
I've done that a couple of times myself at salvage missions.
If you can see weed when you look out the window, it could be somebody dumping their onion head cargo.
Yeah,
could be Little Grey, and his if he bottles it before he goes to his system and thinks, well, I'll just fly tip this lot here. But I was surprised how much the payouts have gone on exobiology. When I did it, how long's Odyssey been out now?
A year and a bit. About a year, yeah.
2. I didn't do. I did exobiology 2 years ago.
That's been 2 years.
And the payouts are nothing like they are now. I mean, the highest payout I seem to remember I got was about 800,000. I scanned a weed the other night and got 8 million for it. So it's really, really changed. So if people are looking for a fast buck, try exobiology.
Yeah, absolutely. So is that you then? Is that a folder mug?
It is me. That's a folder mug from me.
Hooray! For the mug! Mog.
Glorious mug.
And now it's you or somebody. Who is it?
It's me.
Is it you? Who are
Me
you
to talk to Tricky Hickey. I'm sorry, there's been a change in who's talking
In our
to you.
scheduled programming.
It's all
you get
Chix's
me
fault.
Instead. So how are you doing?
Everything else is, might as well be.
Are you there, Tricky?
No, I can see a light flashing, but no sound.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
that sounds like
clicks.
button bashing.
I can hear little.
That's Tricky Dicky is a hot dolphin.
But no, sorry, you're not coming through properly. That's all right.
Brilliant. It's very dolphin-like. What's that, Flipper? Timmy's fallen down the well?
Tricky. Check if you're on push to talk or voice activation, because it sounds like it's cutting in and out really quickly. So either switch it to continuously on or try push to talk and pick a key for it. No, we're not getting anything, unfortunately, Tricky.
No. Oh, it's giving you that dolphin-y sound again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try putting it on a just continuous transmission and see where that gets you.
It's on Tools Options or press Alt P to get into the settings. Then go to Capture and have a look in there.
We're going to get a wee bit of dolphin-y noise.
Can we
when
record
do
this?
that.
Because this is great. We need a sound
This is
effect with
awesome.
this.
I love this.
Yeah.
The whole thing's being recorded. And yes, I did just look and check before I said that. And yes, it would have been a bit late to look at that if it hadn't been.
It looks like Tricky Hickey is doing something because her mic's gone quiet.
Well, we can wait a minute
So
or
you can
two, see if they get anywhere. No, still the same.
No, you're still jumping on and off.
So we've got a bit of a dicky tricky hickey.
Yes. It's not doing you any favours, Tricky
No.
Hickey.
No, sorry. Oh dear. I
Aw.
always look forward to talking to you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always nice to have somebody new in the
It's
green room.
First
Absolutely.
time in here.
It's always a bit tricky though getting your setup right.
Yeah.
You know. Well,
Well-
as I experienced earlier on with the wrong microphone and sounding a little bit at the bottom of a well. You're not the only one that has had issues tonight, Tricky Hickey.
No, it's Timmy at the bottom of the well.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nearly me at the bottom of the well, but the sounds
Flipper
of it.
just
but-
told us.
I was the one rebooting the PC because I was streaming tonight 6 minutes before we
Yes.
went live. Yeah.
So we've all had issues, but maybe have a look at your settings, see what the recommended settings and things are. You get videos on YouTube and stuff for setting up if you're not sure.
Do we have anyone else where we can sort of make it?
Sadly, no. That's the end of the green room.
Yeah, Tricky.
Unless, I mean, we could always Chix. You could talk to somebody else at random. I mean, you haven't talked to many people tonight, so
Talk to myself. I think that's.
yeah, that could be interesting.
no.
Off you go.
Yeah, if you have a look in the settings over the next few weeks, then maybe you'll be able to join us.
Yes, yay, got you.
Oh yeah,
There.
there you are. So how are you doing now? We can finally talk to you.
Yes, sorry.
I think you're there.
He's gone
anyway.
again.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I'm stuck out in the woolly wilds of no trying to make my way. Excuse the language.
Yes, it's cutting in and out a fair bit, so I keep missing words.
I think what it is I've just realised I've got to hold my mouse button down to talk.
That would
Yeah,
be the
it
one.
does help. Yes, yes.
I'm an old git playing an old game.
They didn't even
Join
have a
the
mouse when
club.
you started.
Yes, I'm not so young myself.
Yeah.
In fact,
Yes. Quite a lot
my
of the people
husband
in
is
this room remember when Elite
74.
84 came out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, I remember.
1884.
I never played it, but I remember it coming out.
You have bent technology to your
got
will
myself
tonight.
out of the woolly blackness of nothing, and I'm trying to make my way to.
I was 7 when it came out, and I played it.
Yeah, that's.
User disconnected from your channel.
I'm sorry.
Ah, you're okay. You're
Aye.
still there.
Yeah.
Right, hold the mouse button down and just tell us where you've been up to.
Yeah.
Okay, so I started back in this game after my youngest son told me that Odyssey was going free. And
Right.
So you got to start on Odyssey.
yeah. So I got to start on. Well, I started out on Horizon and then transferred to Odyssey after a lot of the problems were ironed out.
Yeah.
Ah, right. Yes.
Yeah. So
how are you liking it?
yeah, I'm loving it. Although my wife seems to think I spend too much time playing the game.
Oh, it's better than being out and doing things that, at least you can know where you are when you're playing your games.
I'm not sat that far from her.
No, I'm not sat that far from mine.
Best be diplomatic with your answers then.
But I love playing it. From when I started playing the game back in the 80s when it first came out with the old wireframe. You could just dream of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I used to watch my husband playing, and I never thought of doing it myself because at that time I had a young toddler to look after.
Yeah. I mean,
and I didn't have my computer or anything then, so then I started flying World War II combat sims, and then moved on to Elite when it came out.
I mean, my first computer was an Amstrad 464 with the old tape deck. That's what I used to have to play. You had to swap it over.
Yeah.
Fond memories.
Loading.
But the thing that I'm impressed with really is the community that's behind it and all the add-ons that you get.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the community in Elite is absolutely amazing. I think it's
It
partly
is.
because there's quite a lot of, let's say, less youthful people in the community, and it stabilises it a bit.
And the Frontier themselves are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
The support they give is...
Yeah, they really engage
second
well
to
with
none.
the people playing the game.
I think none of us have got the energy to be ornery anymore.
No, I agree. I mean, it's funny when I watch my grandson playing his game. He plays Fortnite.
Yeah.
And they just go at it. But here, people are, if you've got a problem, people are really, really up for helping you out and sorting out what your issue is.
Yeah.
It's good. I'd like you say all the add-ons are really good as well. All these things that can help you.
I'm getting a bit of feedback here with the recording playing a couple of seconds after. So
oh yeah.
Please excuse me if I'm getting lost in the thread here.
Oh, yeah, you best turn the volume off on Twitch.
Second.
Yeah, if you mute Twitch for a while, then you should be able to pick up all the audio here, because it's only the same feed anyway. You're not missing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. No,
that's all right.
I love listening to you guys and also to live radio on a Tuesday night while I'm playing. It just gives me something else.
Yeah.
And the laugh you guys have on it as well is brilliant. I love it. All the silliness and stuff.
What do you mean silliness? We're very serious. We're not silly.
Maybe on live with their silly adverts, but I know you have your own.
Oh, they are brilliant.
but it just helps, when I'm playing the game, because I don't get my head around all the social media stuff and all the forums, so I can't I don't get the information of what's going on other than through you and them, and it's
Galnet News Digest is brilliant for that.
Yeah. If I've listened to you guys or the other lot, then I'll go and have it playing off of my panel, off my DVX.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's funny how it's always really good when you've been wondering about something or you've been doing something, and then one of the shows come on and they mention that they've been doing the same thing or whatever. You get that little bit of extra information. You're like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And you think, I'll get back and try that again.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, where I am, I haven't got a very great jump range at the moment. I'm desperately trying to get to Colonia at the moment. Doing the thing I'm calling the back of the B road to Colonia, and I'm out in Prue, Haipu, DHQ B11.
Oh yeah, I remember that place.
Oh yeah, that one.
Well, tell me worth it. There's not a lot out there, and but every now and again I stumble across something that's new for me.
Yeah.
Like
something.
I can't remember what they're called now. The something clouds.
And
you
Lagrange.
Lagrange clouds.
That's right. Yeah, and you go and have a. I could spend a whole night just bumbling around in there, and and then when I get bored with it, then I'll go off to somewhere else. But when you find something new like that, which we didn't have back when I first played it, it just makes it more immersive.
Yeah. There's some stations out there you can stop off at as well for like.
Yeah, I'm heading. Sorry, let me just open the tab and find
Mavis's
the page
Cafe and.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
Dave's Truck Stop.
Not Mavis's Cafe
Not quite.
exactly, but
There's 6 or 8 stations on the way out. So one every couple of thousand light years.
A couple of surface bases as well, and things
Yeah.
like that.
Well, I'm at the moment sort of heading out towards. Hang on a sec, I've got to get closer to the screen. IGAU Sydney Vanguard, which is a plotted route. I've got about another 200 and something odd jumps to get there before I get there.
What's your jump range?
Not a lot.
I gathered that. What is it roughly? I'm sure whatever it is, it's. Somebody once said to me as well, it doesn't matter what your jump range is, because you're always going to be jumping into other systems where there's something to find. Like you say, you
They're
find
more
Lagrange
likely
clouds
to find things.
Yeah.
I
think I've only got about a 38 light year jump range, and occasionally
That's not too bad.
Really?
It's all right. That's
No. Well,
It's more than I had when I went to San Jay.
What does get really scary though is when you end up dropping into a neutron star, and you're thinking, "Oh, here we go."
Yeah. Avoid those things.
Yeah, just remember you don't have to neutron boost. It is optional.
If you go into your galaxy map and choose, let me just do it on Odyssey.
Just choose your KGB form stars.
Yeah, so
then
if you go down, the
use
fifth
it,
icon down on the left-hand side says map mode, and if you choose star class, and then set it's the bottom one in star class. If you set the stars to, as Flossy just said, KGB foam, so OBAFGK. I don't really bother with M's.
Yeah.
And just those, you'll never see another neutron star.
Make sure you also check the bit
Apply
that says
filter
use
to
for
route.
route. Yeah.
And then replot your route. You'll only jump into systems where you can
You'll
scoop.
occasionally get them if the jump would be too big to go direction. You might have to go via another one.
Yeah, but where you are, you won't have a problem.
I mean, I have to say, to me, it sort of adds an element of how can I put it? An element of fear to the game.
Jump surprise.
Yeah. A bit like
keeps you sharp. I bet it keeps you awake.
It does, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I first started playing it, and I was going out to Thor's Helmet, and I was banging and crashing around all over the place. I was running out of fuel. I was getting damaged. So my flying sounds silly saying this. It's a game. It's not a game. It's really like I don't know. I kept, you go into a planet, and wasn't picking up on the fact on my screen, the gravity. So you prang into the planet, and you'd end up back where you were. And on one particular occasion, I had stopped off at someone else's ship to do a refuel. I pranged it on some planet out in the middle of nowhere, going out to Thor's helmet. And when I respawned, he'd moved about 1,000 light years in the opposite direction.
Oh, no.
I was telling him, 5 minutes. But just trudged all the way
Avoid
through
fleet
it.
carriers. Except for quick visits.
Yeah, lesson learned. Don't stop off at anybody else's. Only go to the independent stations that are staying out there.
Well, it's safe enough to stop off at them, as long as you don't log out while you stopped off at them.
Yeah.
Ah.
You always get a 15-minute countdown if they're actually going to jump. So it's always safe to touch down, refuel, whatever else, and you'll always be able to lift off before they jump, because the final couple of minutes before a jump you can't land anyway. So.
But the thing was, when I pranged, because it was the last station I'd been to, and that's where I ended up. And of course, he'd moved, and it went to where he was.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
But when you look at your star map on, sorry, bear with me. I'm just trying to tab and I've hit the wrong key. When you go to your galaxy map and you go and have a look at where it is, you end up with this straight line off out to the middle of nowhere. And you go, shite. I really did want to be here. But the thing is
exactly the phrase, isn't it?
It's the same now as it was when I was learning to play the previous game. I mean, before, when I played the earlier game back in, must have been about 88, I think it was, 1988 I was playing. So that shows how long ago with a wireframe. If that happened, you just rewind back to where you were, to your last save position, and that's where you go to.
Yeah, this game definitely needs a quick save button.
No, this makes it more, I think this makes it more enjoyable, because when you do make a mistake, I always like to say, if I'm doing something and I learn something new each time, it's been worthwhile.
And sometimes the thing you learn is, don't do that again.
Definitely.
It's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. It's an education opportunity.
But fleet carriers do give you a 15-minute warning before they do the jumps. So 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
That moment you're talking about, I had that moment once when it was early on in the Thargoid days. I accidentally biosampled a Thargoid. I fired this probe at it, and it was like collecting biopsy now. And it started running. I thought, oh no, not a biopsy. And then it got really angry and chased me.
Really? Why would it get angry?
I don't know. I was just sucking a bit of flesh off it. No reason. Yeah.
Well, I haven't got any weapons on mine at the moment to try and make the jump range a bit more. So I try at the moment. I'm dodging and weaving, and I did pop back into the bubble when I was en route to one of the other independent stations, and it literally felt like every system I was going through, there were these bloody carnations sat there waiting for you. And just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. I got to where I needed to boost my jump range. Yeah. And then, of course, I had to get back out on a similar route on the way out, and you keep bumping into these bloody weeds as you're going out.
It's coming in with a paper-thin anaconda with no weapons on it, with 24 billion of exploration data back to the bubble.
Don't do that in open.
No, that's something I'd like to ask from guys that have played it, or guys and girls. Sorry, I didn't mean that, Floss. Guys and girls that play this game frequently. I obviously going through where I am. I mean, I'm hitting a lot of systems that haven't been explored before. I'm getting a lot of first footfalls and a lot of first. I don't know what you call it. When you find the system first, you scan it.
Discovered.
That's the one first discovered.
Yeah.
When I get to the next station, because I don't want to lose that data, I do a data dump at it,
go to
Mhm.
contacts.
Yeah.
When you go into station services, go
Yeah.
into contacts.
Yeah.
There'll be interstellar factors there.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yep.
And sorry, universal cartographics.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And so I do the data dump.
Yeah.
But now I'm picking up on the fact that if you did that, if you have a, so like you guys, if I was to go to Hutton Orbital all the time, does that improve your status with that particular faction if you keep
Yes.
going doing it there?
If you trade, if generally,
If you sell your data at
yeah.
one of our stations, you will have a better reputation with us.
Yeah.
So you'll
It's
feel
the
trade
it's
or
the
do something good.
Yeah, with data, it's the controlling faction of the station that you get reputation with, and somewhere around 10 or 15 million credits worth of data will get you all the way up to the top of Allied.
get you allied.
Right, because I mean, what am I running at the moment? I was looking the other day, trying to can't remember where I put it now.
Mouse button.
Sorry, 2 billion. Sorry, I've took my finger off the
It's
mouse.
okay.
It was hurting. But I've got about 2 billion's worth of
Oh, jeez,
data, and also from because I do a lot of exobiology, a bit of the gardener at home anyway. So I love going around and sort of finding all the exobiology.
Brilliant.
So I've got quite a bit stashed away on board. But what I do worry about is if I prang black rat, then I lose the lot, don't I?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And is it you haven't handed in anyway? If you've already handed it in and you got your first discovery notification, it's there. It's forever.
Excellent.
And also your
it's well worth selling.
Your first footfall is there straight away. You don't have to hand first footfalls in.
Okay.
As soon as you get it, that's it. It's yours.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But for the other exploration data, for the system stuff and the planet scan stuff,
yeah,
you really need to hand that in, because if you get killed or if you're prying it or do something, then you would lose that.
Yes, you get quite upset with yourself when that happens, especially when you've done something dumb for it to happen.
Yeah.
Or when you
Which
found
I have.
something spectacular.
Okay, so you guys have now, in my head, I've now got this thing in my head where I'm going, right, okay, I'm going to go to the next Hutton Orbital place that I can find, where I've got to get back to Colonia. I think I've got about another 600 jumps to go.
In Colonia, we have the this what do you call it? Hutton Moon.
Yeah,
right.
There's
Hutton Moon, we're in Doriso and Tyr.
Yeah, which is EL Procol Centauri.
The faction out there is Hot Col.
Hot Col, yeah.
So if I go to the Hutton Orbital pages, I will find where all the stations are there, because I've got your
if you go to
Fort Mug.
Yeah.
In EL Procol Centauri. That's our main base there.
Okay, I'll go. I will make. I'll endeavour.
You notice it's called Fort Mug. Fort Mug.
Okay.
So if you click on this link, I'll just put in there.
Hang on a sec. I'll just let me go and find it.
That will.
TeamSpeak.
Yeah.
If you click on that link, that'll take you to the 4 systems in which Hot Col are active.
Right. Okay.
So Derice.
There's also a useful page at hot.forthemug.com, and the homepage of that lists all our systems. That lists all our systems in both factions. So.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do that then. So hopefully I might move up the range. At the moment, I think I'm about in the last 2 pages down with all the new people joining.
So the only when you get to Colonia, the only system that we're in that we're not in control of is Tyr. So if you drop it, Doriso, EL Procol Centauri, or Pytheas, they're all controlled by Hot Col.
Right. Okay.
So all your data will put you in good standing with Hot Col.
If you land at Fort Mug, to drop your data off there, be warned it's 1.3 G.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that extra 0.3 makes a surprising difference on the way down.
Yeah.
I always use my auto dock.
You saying about Autodoc there, Floss? When I first started playing the game, I relied on that.
Well, I refused to use it for the first few years. And then I went to Colonia doing missions, and somebody persuaded me to get one.
Yeah.
And because they said there's a lot of high gravity planets in the area, so I got one. And actually, the first time I used it, I don't know if you were around when there was a problem with skimmers that used to drop on you as you were landing and kill you. And that's what that happened to me the first time I used the Autodoc.
Yeah.
Which I could have blamed the Autodoc, but fortunately somebody else saw it happening and said, no, it wasn't that, it was the skimmers that dropped on them.
Ah, right, yeah.
This might have been a bug.
I've used it ever since, and I think it's brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't used it. In fact, I haven't got it fitted to Black Rat 7.
I won't use Super Cruise Assist, but I'll use the Autodoc, definitely. It's especially for outposts. I can never find the pads on outposts.
Oh, right.
It just finds itself. We don't have to.
One of the things I found I had a problem with last time I was docking, when I can't remember what it was, I think I was in my Type 9 at the time. I managed to get myself stuck in the toast rack.
Yes. I know that one.
Couldn't get it out.
Log out quick. That's all I do.
Even that I couldn't do. Well, can I ask a question? You saying that, Floss, when you say logging out?
It's not combat logging because I'm not in combat.
Right. Controversial. Can you explain this combat logging? Because this is something new to me.
If you're in combat with another commander, then if you then log out in the middle of the combat,
it's not exactly logging out that's the problem. If you try to log out while you're in combat, you'll get told that you're in a dangerous situation at the moment, and you get a long countdown, and they'll probably kill you. If you hit Alt F4 to quit the program, or use Task Manager to kill it, or yank your network card out, or turn your router off, you immediately disconnect from the game. So you're safe, so you don't get killed.
Okay.
And we don't encourage that. That's cheating. That's just bad behaviour.
In the front you find out about it, you're banned.
Really?
Yeah, that's actually against terms of service, so don't do that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, not that. I mean, as I said earlier on, I mean, all the things that go on, I find it all a learning curve of stuff that's going on, and I just want to play the game. And if I don't want to fight someone, then I'll go and do it in. I think it's solo.
I don't even carry guns.
No.
I've never had any.
But I'm rather proud of the fact that I managed to get, at my last docking, my Elite 1 for exploration. So,
congratulations.
So thank you very much. But
congrats.
That was great. But I now just want to get back to where there's people, and I'm getting fed up of struggling around on my own out there. It's taking forever.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for talking to me, guys.
The second year is always the worst.
Well, that's what I mean, though. Yeah. But thanks for talking to me, guys.
It's been a real pleasure
talking to
you. From anyone else.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
thanks. I'll try and come and join you again next Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
It's next month. It's in about 4 weeks.
Yeah, the Green Room is the last Thursday of the month. The show's every week, but the Green Room like this is the last Thursday of every month. Because as you can see from the time it is now, the shows can run quite long when it's Green Room week. So we used to do it every week, but it got a bit much.
Oh, yeah, I can understand that. You've got real life to get on with.
I haven't.
Oh, really. But thank you anyway. I hope to join you next month then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look forward to it.
In the meantime, you can come and listen on Twitch every week.
Yeah. We'll do. Yeah, that's fantastic.
And the magic phrase is?
For the mug.
For the mug.
For the mug. Okay, guys, take care.
Okay, thank you. Nice talking to you.
You too, bye.
07.
User disconnected from your channel.
Well, all done.
Yeah, that I believe brings us pretty much to the end of the show. I guess all that we really need to do now is
sound the alarm. Go on, do the super duper flash.
Do the aggressive flush.
I haven't got it. I'd have to go and find it again. Didn't download it.
No.
Oh, it's so aggressive.
Let's see if I can find it again for you. Seeing as you insist. Where is it?
It was the splutter,
It
just
was,
makes
yeah.
it.
If you turn on the bathroom light switch, it'll be easier for you.
Yeah. Oh, there it goes.
Everybody knows a member of a good plumber.
Oh.
Yeah.
Aggressive.
And on that note...
Aggressive flush. You won't get that out in a cold wash.
David's never going to let me push the buttons again, is he?
No. Don't, it's not up to him. We want you to push the buttons. Don't ask him. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah, but when it's that loud when you're flushing, you can't be heard asking for either.
Speaking of loud...
Yes. For anybody who's not been here before, who's wearing headphones, either take them off or hold them away from your ears or turn them down, because this is about to get loud.
For the mug!
Mug.
For the mug.
For the mug.
Has she gone now?
Muggety, 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 muggety,
Journey too long, or cargo too small. Profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We're taking anything, anytime, anyway. Loading all the teen out to the brim with the rest for the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, everybody sing the trucker song. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Skibble lights the pilot on the Xbox One. Helping out the free, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody out. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the more, for the more, for the more. You know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. So give me a large path that I can land on, and I'll give you cargo and sing you my song. No point 22 light years to go, cruising to no journey too long, no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We're taking anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud, loud. You don't even care for the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the and trucker song. For the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the and trucker song.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Everyone's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger off too?